Well, welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Rev Lee Wolak. We're here each and every day exploring life, exploring questions. So today I wanted to explore the question, are we damned by our karma? I hear people talk about that all the time. It's my karma. I have no choice. That happened to me because it's my karma from a prior life or prior lives. It's a karma of my family. And it makes it sound like we're damned. We're damned to the karma. We're damned. We have no choice. But let me just say this. Karma is not kismet. If you don't know what kismet means, there's no changing it. It is going to happen. You see, karma is not our fate. It's simply the law of cause and effect working. And all we have to do is, if we understand that, know that any new action and thought that we put out there transcends the old ones. It's like when we create a new thought atmosphere, a new way of looking at things, we're creating a new updated software. And that software that we're installing in our thought process, guess what? That thought process gets overridden. The new software goes on top. And then when we keep holding that thought, we anchor in that new software. We solidify it into our computer banks, and we start functioning from a completely different level. So karma is not fate. Karma is simply the effect of the law of a cause and effect working in our life. And who controls the law of cause and effect? In your life, you do. In my life, I do. And so once we understand that, we realize that, man, personal responsibility is a bitch, because we are 100% responsible for how we experience our life. Why? Because we choose where we focus. And there's never been a more important time in our lives than to focus clearly. You know, today I've set a conscious intention to have more and more people meditate with me in the morning. I meditate on Zoom at 7 a.m. And anyone can be a part of it. Just go to agapespiritualcenter.com and go to the calendar and get the link. Today, guess what? We had 22 people today. 22 people today coming together in oneness, coming together in silence, coming together to create a new life. There's power in numbers. Yeah, Johanna, I love when you say that. She says, when someone does something wrong, first off, I don't agree with the idea of wrong. I don't get mad because I know karma will respond. In other words, when Joanna says that, when someone does something I don't like, I don't get mad because I know the karma will respond. I like to look at it this way. I don't ever have to worry about someone else. Why? Because the law of cause and effect is always working. Whatever a person is putting out will come back to them. And I don't need to have an opinion about that. Do you get that? I don't need to have an opinion about that. Because the law is working. My putting my attention on it is an absolute waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. Why not put your attention on what you want? Why not create a new stimulant, a new cause in the law of cause and effect? And what's the cause in the law of effect? Build a new belief. Build a new belief. Yeah, Delpha, the more people that come in for whatever the reason, the energy is bigger. It's also the intention we put behind it. I'm coming to understand more and more and more that the single one thing that we can do to change our individual life and change the life collectively around us is to come together and meditate, to not get stuck in the conditions, to not get stuck in worry, to not get stuck in stuff that we have no control over, but rather to come together, to go into oneness, to connect with each other at source where we are connected, and to embody emotions like peace and harmony, and set that as the predominant frequency of our karma. You see, if we say that I experience peace in all aspects of my life, you're putting a mental state, a state of peace at the very forefront, so that no matter what happens in your life, you'll find the balance. And when you find balance in your life, you're at peace. Do you get that? Peace is not about everything going right for you. It's not that at all. Peace is about seeing life in balance, where you're not being tugged in one direction or another, but rather you see that in every situation, there's two sides. There's always both sides. We bought into the illusion that we can live a one-sided life. How silly of us. How many of you out there think you can be happy all the time? If you do, the law of cause and effect is going to have its way with you. Because here's what. In your mind, you're not thinking happy thoughts all the time, are you? You're being influenced by what other people are saying. You have some old habits of thinking that are not happy, don't you? Well, as long as your consciousness is all over the place, your experience will be all over the place. But here's a key thing I want to say. If you can always come back to the idea, how is that in balance? How is that situation in balance in my life? How can I find balance? If you do that, you can find peace pretty fast. Peace is that point in between judgment. Judgment is the yin and the yang side of things, the happy and the sad side of things. Peace is the point in the middle, between the happy and the sad. I don't even want to be happy or anything else all the time. Of course not. Why? Because then you can't experience life, McBride. Life is about to experience, and you have to have contrast to experience. And that means yin and yang, happy and sad, or whatever else you want to call it. The law of cause and effect is working 24/7, 365 for everyone and everything. When we understand how the law of cause and effect works, it becomes our friend, because we can consciously use it instead of unconsciously become the victim of it. Most of us think of ourselves as victims because we don't understand the law of cause and effect and the power that we have and how we choose to use it, how we choose to focus in our day. It's a fascinating thing, but if you can make the switch, if you can start working on this each and every day, you will change your life experience. You will no longer be reacting and being a victim. You'll be responding and being a conscious creator. And there's a tremendous difference between those two. So, are you damned by the law of karma? Yes, if you allow it to be that. Are you freed by the law of karma? Yes, if you understand that it's a law of cause and effect, and that at any moment you can change the cause. Changing the cause always changes the effect. So, my beautiful souls, make this your most conscious and best day ever. With that, know that I love you. Talk to you tomorrow. Aloha.